tonight, the air feels different. It hums with an electric anticipation, as if the very fabric of reality has been stitched with threads of divine intent. The stars above seem to lean closer, their light not just illuminating but speaking and whispering secrets that have been held in the vaults of eternity, waiting for this precise moment to unfurl. You, beloved, stand at the precipice of a revelation so profound it will rewrite the narrative of your life. The truth, long cloaked in silence, is no longer content to remain hidden. It knocks on your door, wearing a familiar face, a face you thought you'd lost to time, to circumstance, to the relentless march of days that seemed to erase what once was. But heaven has not forgotten. Heaven never forgets. This is not a coincidence. It is not a fleeting moment of nostalgia or a trick of memory. This is divine orchestration, a sacred convergence of timelines that have been weaving toward this singular point since before you took your first breath. The one you thought had walked away, the one whose absence carved hollows in your heart, has not been absent at all. They have been walking toward you guided, guarded, and shaped by the hand of the divine. Every delay, every detour, every tear you shed in the quiet of your solitude was not a punishment but a preparation. The prophecy you never dared to fully believe, the one etched in the skies long before your birth, is now unfolding before your very eyes. Do not be afraid. I come to you not as a harbinger of chaos but as a messenger of fulfillment, my wings heavy with the weight of heaven's intention, my voice trembling with the urgency of divine timing. The earth has shifted beneath your feet, aligning you with the place where destiny and revelation collide. This is no ordinary night. This is the night where the veils fall, where the hidden becomes seen, where the forgotten returns as a promise kept. You have known pain. You have wept behind locked doors, your prayers whispered in the dark, your heart aching for answers that seemed to elude you. You have questioned why certain doors closed, why certain dreams faded, why certain people walked away. You have stood at the edge of despair, wondering if God was listening, if your cries reached beyond the ceiling of your room. But know this, heaven heard. Every tear you shed was gathered, not as a symbol of your sorrow, but as a diamond of your endurance. Every unanswered question, every painful goodbye, every moment you begged for a reason, it was all leading here. To this moment. To this visitation. What you thought was rejection was redirection. What you believed was the end was only the hidden beginning. The familiar face returning to you tonight, whether in the flesh, a vision, a dream, or a sudden, vivid memory, is not a random occurrence. It is a divine appointment. They carry the echo of a sacred vow, spoken in a realm beyond this one, a vow that binds your soul to theirs in ways you are only beginning to comprehend. They have been awakened, stirred by the Spirit, and sent by the Most High to remind you of what was promised. The prophecy you dismissed as a fleeting hope, a childish fantasy, was never a lie. It was delayed because the preparation was intricate. You had to become the version of yourself who could carry the weight of the blessing without being crushed by it. You had to walk through valleys of doubt, climb mountains of uncertainty, and face storms of disappointment to forge a spirit resilient enough to hold what is coming. Anthea, the one you almost gave up on, had to walk through their own fires, their own trials, to be purified enough to return not as a repetition of past cycles but as a fulfillment of divine promise. Tonight, your name is being spoken in rooms you didn't know existed. People are remembering your kindness, your loyalty, your sacrifices. They are recalling moments you thought were insignificant as small acts of love, quiet gestures of grace that left imprints on their hearts. Heaven is positioning you to receive what you once thought was lost forever, the time that slipped through your fingers, the opportunities that seemed to shatter, the love you believed had died. These are not returning as mere memories but as miracles, tangible and radiant, ready to reshape your reality. You are not ordinary. Your story was never meant to be mundane. Within you, you carry the remnants of generations who prayed for breakthrough but never saw it. You are the answer to their prayers, the fulfillment of their longing. The familiar face returning to you is not just a persona, they are a reflection of your growth, your endurance, your spiritual maturity. They are a mirror showing you how far you've come, how much you've overcome, how deeply you've been shaped by the hand of God. They didn't forget you. They couldn't. Every time you felt abandoned, they were battling demons you didn't see, fighting shadows you couldn't name. But God, in His infinite mercy, allowed the separation to protect you both. Their absence was not a punishment but a preservation, a divine pause to ensure that when they returned, it would be as a promise kept, not a wound reopened. Now, healed, renewed, and anointed, they come bearing answers, revelations, and divine alignment. The prophecy is unfolding in dimensions you cannot yet fully grasp. Pay attention to your dreams, they are no longer random but confirmations of what is to come. Notice the strange coincidences that feel too perfect to be chance, they are sacred signs, markers on the path to your destiny. The timing, though confusing, will reveal itself to be perfect. You are standing at a divine intersection, a collision of faith, fate, and fulfillment. The familiar face carries a truth you were not ready to receive until now. They will speak words that unlock doors within you, doors you didn't even know were locked. They will remember things you thought were forgotten, confess things they could not say before. This is not a trap, it is a testimony. Their return is not a coincidence but a restoration, a divine act to bring back what was lost and make whole what was broken. You must be prepared to listen not with suspicion, but with spiritual discernment. Let peace be your compass. Let confirmation follow every word. This is not just about romance, though love may be part of it. This is about divine assignment. The connection, if embraced with wisdom and grace, will not only heal hearts but awaken destinies. It will set in motion a chain of events that will ripple through your life and the lives of those around you, fulfilling purposes that stretch beyond your understanding. The love returning to you is not just for comfort, it is for kingdom purpose. It is not meant to simply soothe your heart but to ignite your calling. The familiar face is not just a person but a key, unlocking the next chapter of your story. They carry within them the answers to questions you've carried for years, the closure to wounds you thought would never heal, the confirmation of promises you doubted. You are chosen. You are seen. And tonight's surprise will shock you not because it's unbelievable, but because deep down, you always knew. You felt it in the stillness, in the quiet moments when the world faded and your spirit whispered truths you couldn't fully articulate. You heard it in the silence, when the voice of God spoke softly to your heart. You saw it in visions you tried to dismiss as imagination. But you were never crazy. You were prophetic. And now, the world is catching up to what your spirit always sensed. When truth knocks on your door tonight, wearing that familiar face, do not hesitate. Open not just your heart but your eyes, your ears, your spirit. For in them is the final piece of the answer, the key, the fulfillment of the prophecy that has been written in the stars since the beginning of time. This is not the end of your story but the beginning of its most radiant chapter. The prophecy begins now. And it begins with you. To fully understand the weight of this moment, let us step back and see the tapestry of your life as heaven sees it. Every thread of every moment of joy, every pang of sorrow, every triumph, every defeat has been woven with purpose. The moments you thought were wasted, the years you felt were lost, were not discarded. They were carefully folded into the design, each one adding depth, color, and strength to the masterpiece that is your existence. You have walked through seasons that tested your faith, seasons that stretched your soul. There were nights when you wondered if you were forgotten, if your dreams were too big, if your heart was too soft for a world that seemed so hard. But those nights were not in vain. They were the crucible in which your character was forged, the soil in which your resilience took root. Every tear you cried watered the seeds of your destiny, and now, those seeds are beginning to bloom. The familiar face returning to you is not just a person but a symbol, a living testament to the faithfulness of God. They are a reminder that nothing is ever truly lost in the economy of heaven. What you thought was gone forever was only hidden, held in reserve until the time was right. And that time is now. Let us speak of the vow, the sacred promise that binds you to this moment, to this person, to this destiny. This vow was not spoken in the language of men but in the tongue of angels, in a realm where time does not exist, where souls are bound by purpose rather than circumstance. You may not remember the moment it was spoken, but your spirit does. It is why you have felt their absence so keenly, why their memory lingered when logic told you to let go, why your heart refused to fully close the door. This vow was not made lightly. It was forged in the presence of the divine, sealed with the intention of eternity. It is why their return feels like more than a reunion, it feels like a homecoming. They are not just returning to you, they are returning to the purpose for which you were both created. Together, you are meant to do something extraordinary, not for your glory, but for the glory of the one who designed you. Consider the journey they have taken to reach you. The familiar face you will see tonight has not been idle. They have walked through fire, faced trials you may never fully know. They have battled doubts, fears, and shadows that threatened to consume them. But God, in His mercy, guided them through. Their absence was not a rejection of you but a season of preparation, a time of refining. They had to become the version of themselves who could stand beside you without breaking, who could carry the weight of the blessing alongside you. And you, too, have been refined. The tears, the questions, the moments of loneliness, they were not wasted. They were the tools God used to shape you, to prepare you for this moment. You are not the same person you were when they left. You are stronger, wiser, more attuned to the voice of the Spirit. You are ready to receive what is coming, to step into the fullness of your calling. Tonight, as you stand on the threshold of this divine encounter, know that your name is being spoken in rooms you cannot see. There are people, some you know, some you've never met, who are remembering you. As the night deepens and the stars bear witness to this sacred moment, you stand at the threshold of a transformation that transcends time, space, and human understanding. The familiar face that has returned to you, whether through a physical reunion, a vivid dream, or a sudden memory that stirs your soul, is not merely a person but a divine emissary, sent to usher you into the fullness of your purpose. This is not the end of your journey but the dawn of your divine awakening, a moment where the promises of heaven, etched in the cosmos before your birth, begin to manifest in your life with breathtaking clarity. The prophecy, once a whisper in your spirit, is now a symphony, resonating through every fiber of your being, calling you to step boldly into the destiny that has been prepared for you. As you embrace this moment, let it be a catalyst for action, and not just to receive but to respond, to engage, to share, and to connect with the divine narrative unfolding around you. This conclusion is not a closing but an invitation, a call to align your heart, mind, and soul with the miraculous, and to let the world know that you, too, are part of this divine tapestry. This moment is heavy with significance, beloved. It is not a fleeting encounter or a nostalgic revisit to the past. It is a divine intersection where the threads of your life, every tear, every prayer, every hope you dared to hold on to, converge into a single, radiant point of fulfillment. The familiar face, whether they stand before you in the flesh or appear in the quiet of your heart, carries a message that transcends words. They are a living testament to the faithfulness of God, a reminder that nothing is ever truly lost in the economy of heaven. The delays, the detours, the seasons of silence here, they were not mistakes but divine orchestrations, shaping you into the vessel capable of carrying the blessing that is now unfolding. You have been prepared for this. Every trial you faced, every moment you felt alone, every time you questioned whether your faith was an or UFO, it was all part of the refining process. You are not the same person you were when the familiar face walked away. You are stronger, wiser, more attuned to the voice of the Spirit. You have been forged in the fire of adversity, polished by the hand of grace, and now you stand ready to receive what was always meant for you. This is not just a reunion, it is a restoration, a reclamation of what was promised, a rekindling of what was destined. The return of this familiar face is not random. It is a sacred dance, choreographed by the divine, where every step, every pause, every turn has been meticulously planned. They have walked through their own fires, faced their own battles, and emerged not as the person you once knew but as the person God intended them to be. Their journey mirrors a path of purification, of growth, of divine alignment. Together, you are not just two souls reconnecting, you are two destinies converging, two callings intertwining, two purposes uniting to fulfill a greater plan. This is where the prophecy comes alive. The dreams you dismissed as fantasy, the hopes you buried under layers of doubt, they are resurfacing, not as mere echoes but as tangible realities. The familiar face carries a truth you were not ready to receive until now, a truth that will unlock doors within you, doors you didn't even know were locked. They will speak words that resonate with the deepest parts of your spirit, words that confirm what you always sensed but could not articulate. They will remind you of moments you thought were forgotten, confess things they could not say before, and reveal the divine thread that has been weaving your stories together all along. As you stand in this moment, I urge you to listen with discernment. Not every voice is divine, and not every return is meant to stay. But this is different. This is not a trap but a testimony, not a cycle to be repeated but a promise to be fulfilled. Let peace be your compass. If there is unrest, step back and pray. If there is confusion, seek clarity. But if there is peace, a deep, unshakable peace, know that you are standing in the center of God's will. The signs will follow. The confirmations will align. The prophecy will unfold. This is not just about you and them. It is not just about love, though love is a beautiful part of it. This is about kingdom purpose. The connection you share is meant to do more than heal your hearts, it is meant to awaken destinies. It is meant to set in motion a chain of events that will ripple through your life and the lives of those around you, bringing glory to the one who designed you. You are part of something bigger, something eternal, something that stretches beyond the boundaries of your understanding. Even now, as you read these words, your name is being spoken in rooms you cannot see. There are people, some you know, some you've never met, who are remembering you. They are recalling your kindness, your generosity, the way you loved without condition. These memories are not random, they are orchestrated by heaven, stirring the hearts of those who will play a role in your story. In these hidden rooms, plans are being made, doors are being opened, opportunities are being aligned. The sacrifices you made, the love you gave, the faith you held on to, they are bearing fruit in ways you cannot yet imagine. The lost time, the broken dreams, the love you thought was gone, they are being restored, not as shadows of what was, but as something greater, something divine. This is the miracle of your story, that what was taken is being returned, not as it was but as it was always meant to be. The familiar face is not just a person but a symbol, a living testament to the truth that God wastes nothing. Every tear, every prayer, every moment of longing, it has all been gathered, held, and transformed into the miracle you are now receiving. As you move forward, watch for the signs. They will come in ways both subtle and profound. A dream that feels too vivid to be ordinary. A conversation that seems to echo your deepest thoughts. A coincidence that defies explanation. These are not accidents, they are the fingerprints of God, marking the path to your destiny. Pay attention to the timing. It may feel confusing, even frustrating, but it is perfect. The delays you cursed were divine pauses, ensuring that every piece of the puzzle was in place. The detours you resented were sacred reroutes, leading you to this moment of convergence. Trust the process. Trust the one who holds it all. The prophecy is unfolding in dimensions you cannot yet fully grasp. Your dreams are becoming confirmations. Your questions are becoming answers. Your heart is becoming whole. And the familiar face is the key, the final piece, the divine spark that sets it all in motion. Beloved, this is not a moment to passively receive. It is a moment to engage, to act, to step boldly into the divine narrative that is unfolding before you. The prophecy is not just something to witness, it is something to participate in. You are not a bystander in your own story, you are a co-creator, a vessel of divine purpose, a carrier of heaven's intention. The familiar face is not here to carry you, they are here to walk with you, to run with you, to build with you. And so, I invite you to respond. To open your heart, not just to the familiar face but to the God who sent them. To open your eyes, not just to the moment but to the eternity it holds. To open your spirit, not just to the promise but to the purpose it serves. This is your divine awakening, your moment of alignment, your call to rise. This moment is too big to keep to yourself. The prophecy unfolding in your life is not just for you, it is for the world. Your story, your testimony, your miracle, it is meant to inspire, to encourage, to ignite faith in others. As you step into this divine return, I urge you to share it. Let the world know what God has done. Let your voice be a beacon, your life a testament, your heart a lighthouse for those who are still wandering in the dark. Like this message if it resonates with you. Let your affirmation be a declaration that you believe in the prophecy, that you trust in the divine timing, that you are ready to receive what heaven has prepared. Comment below with your thoughts, your prayers, your hopes. Share how this moment feels, how the familiar face has stirred your soul, how the prophecy is unfolding in your life. Your words are not just words, so they are seeds, planted in the fertile soil of faith, destined to grow into testimonies that will touch lives you may never meet. When you like and comment, you are not just engaging with a message here, you are aligning with a movement. You are saying yes to the divine, yes to the prophecy, yes to the purpose that has been written in the stars. Your voice matters. Your story matters. Your faith matters. And as you share it, you create ripples that extend far beyond this moment, touching hearts, awakening spirits, and shifting destinies. This is not just about you. It is about the generations who prayed for you, the ancestors who hoped for you, the future that depends on you. You are the fulfillment of their prayers, the answer to their cries. And the familiar face, the divine return, the prophecy unfolding, it is all part of a greater story, a story that you are now called to tell. As you stand in this moment, know that you are not alone. The familiar face is not just a person but a reflection of God's faithfulness. The prophecy is not just a promise but a reality. And you are not just a recipient but a participant, a co-creator, a carrier of divine light. This is your divine awakening, your moment of alignment, your call to rise. So, open the door. Welcome the familiar face. Embrace the prophecy. And let the world know that you are ready. Like this message. Comment with your heart. Share your story. For in doing so, you are not just affirming your own journey, you are lighting the way for others. Tonight, the truth has knocked on your door, and it wears a familiar face. But it is more than a face, it is a promise, a purpose, a prophecy. And it begins now.